So for this easy bow, all you need is some fabric. This is what I get here from Joann's. So once you get it home, you're going to cut it into a about 19 by 3-inch long rectangle. So I fold it in half and then iron it so it has a crease right in the middle of it. After you iron it, you're going to take your carbon paper and trace your name onto the fabric. You want it right above the crease that you just made on the inside. And you want it about an inch over from the edge of the fabric. After the name is on there, you're going to start stitching. I like to use a 3-inch hoop. I think using hoops are just easier, but you don't have to use a hoop if you don't want to. For these bows, I only use 1 out of the 6 strands of thread. And then I fold it over so that it ends up being 2 strands. I usually use 2 strands folded over to 4 for most of my projects, but for this one, because the name is so tiny, I use 1 strand doubled up. So take the 2 strands of thread, fold it in half with your needle in the middle, and then tie a knot at the end. I usually like the monochromatic look, but I quickly realized that this green did not show up that well, so I'm switching over to white. And then I just use a back stitch to stitch the name onto the fabric. After you're done stitching, you're just going to iron it again to get that crease out from the hoop. Then you're going to fold the fabric in half so that the 2 ends line up. cut a diagonal line on the end of it. Then go over to your sewing machine, and with the fabric folded in half, you're going to find the middle and start stitching along the outside edge. You want to make sure that when you sew this together, the name is on the inside of the fabric. So you're sewing it together inside out. And then you're going to turn it over and leave about an inch or half an inch of space and stitch the other side. So now your fabric is sewed together except for that little tiny space in the middle of it. So when you're done sewing, you're going to find that little hole and start flipping the fabric so that the name is going to be on the outside. I usually have to use tweezers for this. Just be careful not to pull on the fabric too much or pull the thread out from the name. After you're done doing that, you're just going to iron it flat again. Make sure that the hole is tucked under, and so that way you won't be able to see it. Then you're going to take your nylon headband. You can find these online in bulk, and put your headband in the middle of it. The name is going to be in your right hand on the outside, and you're just going to tie it into a bow like this. You can also tie this into a bow without the headband at all, and then just add a clip to it later, so it's a clip instead of a headband. So after adjusting it a bit and cutting off any loose threads, you are all set, and you made yourself an adorable headband.